Yeah, this loss, and hopefully they can get more legends, more footballers to come on and tow in the direction of Hugo Sotil. We can have people that can replace him. We not have a like-for-like replacements, but with developments in South America, we can have more players like Hugo Sotil. That's the only thing that we can do now to honor the memory of this man.
And a big step in for Peruvian football in recent times. We've not really seen a Peruvian player who really stand tall in the world of football, but the man would be missed, Hugo Sotil. And quickly, let's move to the world of tennis now and talk about Emma Raducanu. A sad story for Emma Raducanu. She'll be withdrawing from the Auckland Open, a preparatory tournament towards the Australian Open that begins. And what a conversation for a former British number one tour diver. Big concerns for her now. It's not really worked out for her the way it ought to be. Less than 2 weeks towards the Australian Open, the start of it. A 22-year-old will fly to Melbourne and still hopeful of competing in the first Grand Slam of the season. But would be without a match practice. Recently had a new coach be part of the setup now, a fitness trainer, Yutaka Nakamura in that direction. But a bad story for her. Put it side by side with last year, and last year only participated in 14 events, didn't play so much of the games. I think worst numbers in the top 100 tennis players, exception of 2 players who didn't have the numbers in terms of her having more appearance, and then injury concerns for her back injury, and that's what it's been always a story.
A very unfortunate situation, I must say, for Emma Raducanu at the moment, because I look at her at a very young age, and I looked at the very fact that this would definitely be another kid in the block, another kid that would actually show signs of progression, most especially after the US Open in 2021. But it looks like at the moment, injury worries haven't really been able to allow us to see a whole lot of potentials by the lady Emma Raducanu. And it's even more difficult to say she's not got the talent, because at some point she returns back from injury, plays one particular tournament, doesn't even play to the end.
She's made a point, let's just put it in perspective now. She's also made a point about before now she says she does want to appear at tournaments, and this time she's withdrawing from a tournament, refusing to have that firefighting approach against any niggling effect that could happen at the end of it. So many would say maybe withdrawing from tournaments could help her even heal better.
Well, I do not see it being, of course, of help at the moment, because we're talking about missing a tournament that many see as a preparatory tournament for a major Grand Slam, the very first major Grand Slam of the year. It could also be quite consequential, because you are going to a Grand Slam, you're facing top opponents over there.
And difficult games.
Absolutely. So you also be forcing yourself
extended
to be
games.
Absolutely. You
compared to the regulars.
Yeah, different sets as well. You also be forcing yourself now to play at top level. And in most cases, you've not played any game prior to a Grand Slam, a tournament as big as a Grand Slam. So it's difficult at the moment. But I think the situation with about the very fact that she's still young, so she's got yards of years to, of course, return back from injury. But I really want to hope that this particular year, we're entering 2025, would be a fortunate year for Emma Raducanu. I really don't want to see her on the treatment table. I want to see the best of Emma Raducanu, the lady we usually talked about back then in 2021, winning the US Open. I really want to see her compete at the top level.
Well, the first tennis player to win the US Open as a qualifier, it happened 2021. Since that is not really added up for Emma Raducanu, was a shock to the world. She rose to the echelon of the US Open, winning it. And many thought probably was a talent that the world would really see and be excited about, but it's not happened for her. Lots of injuries, from a wrist injury to a leg injury, and then you talk about a back injury now. Many concerns for Emma. We can wish her a quick recovery, speedy recovery in that direction. I said in the world of tennis, Coco Gauff got the better of Donovan Vekic in this one, showing class and dominance. Dona Vekic, rather, the Croatian, showing class and dominance. The last time out these two met was at the Paris Olympic, and guess what? Vekic got the better of Coco Gauff. Well, 14, I'll start with you in this one now. Over time, we've seen the progress of it, but this one wasn't a difficult call for Coco Gauff. A comprehensive victory, a 6-4, 6-2 winner over Vekic, took place the American second victory in this many round robin ties in this one. And put that side by side, a span 1 hour, 29-minute victory as to win the dressing for Team USA, who won the United Cup in 2023. Taylor Fritz also got a victory in this one over Bono Coric in that direction, and they've qualified for Group A as Group A winners for the quarterfinals. And up next would be China, but Coco Gauff having a revenge in this one?
Well, good times for the Americans. We've always had a resurgence for Americans. Recent times in tennis, the likes of Coco Gauff, Taylor Fritz, like you've mentioned, of course, even Ben Simmons at the point. So I think for Coco Gauff, this is just let's say a warm up for her for the Aussie Open, which is happening very soon in January. She has to get her house in order and try to get in top gear for the Aussie Open, which is she's gonna face bigger names than Vekic. It was actually a good way for her to get a revenge over Vekic, who actually defeated her the last time they met. So it was a good game for her, but it was too easy for me, and I'm looking forward to see the Coco Gauff compete against the likes of Arena Zabalenka, and when the Aussie Open actually starts, because that's when we're going to see the best of the division, the best of the WTA level now come to compete.
Funny's going to the best of the tournaments now, but we're looking at the United Cup anyway.
Let's see what happens now. She's just doing her bit for the United States of America.
Up next is China.
I want to see her do the best for herself. This is not going to count for her in the rankings, just for the United States.
Yeah, we know. But
I want to see her do something for herself. Yeah.
Well, I agree with your point. It's a long season. We got to see what happens now. But the big question will be what next against China. Can China be a stumbling block for 2023 champions of the United States of America? And that is a conversation to look forward to and act in this direction. It was a matter of Italy getting better of France 3-0, still in the United Cup. We're talking about a transition that goes to the quarterfinals of it. And quickly, let's move to other talking point, and that would be the world of basketball, an exciting feature in the world of basketball. The Denver Nuggets are getting the better of the opening Utah Jazz, 132-121. Nikola Jokic hitting the numbers as well, 36 points, 22 rebounds, 11 assists in that direction. But unfortunately, now we saw Russell Westbrook also hitting some decent numbers here. A triple-double without any turnover and having a 100% in this game. A triple-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, finishing 7 from 7 from the field with 0 turnover. A massive record, second player to do it in the history of NBA basketball, but it makes all the difference to talk about, but the win would always be what matters the most. The Nuggets having a victory, 132-121 over Utah Jazz.
Well, good result for the Denver Nuggets. This particular season has been a season where they're, trying to get their houses in order. We've seen the likes of Luka Doncic now, stepping up to the party and doing the job for them against the Utah Jazz. Not really been phenomenal this particular season, so you can say it was a victory that was expected, because the Denver Nuggets are definitely the favorite heading into this particular matchup, and it was good to see them get the victory against the Utah Jazz. But I want to see them when they go on the road against top opponent, because we see the Denver Nuggets going against stronger opponent, they tend to fall to their line this particular season. That's why they're not in the top 2 of their conference at the moment. So I want to see them with the likes of the caliber of players they have at their disposal. I want to see them compete against the best of the best and get the results, not just against failing teams like Utah Jazz, because the Utah Jazz were never going to trouble the Denver Nuggets. Let's be real with ourselves. So it was a victory that was coming and well deserved for the Denver Nuggets.
Well deserved for the Denver Nuggets. It is from Funny Tina. To diving now, let's talk about Cleveland Cavaliers, what they've been doing in recent times. 7th victory for them, getting the better of Golden State Warriors. The first few games this season, we saw Golden State Warriors coming out smoking with fire, but recent times it's been a free fall for them, not doing so well. Everyone picks Golden State Warriors at the moment. It reminds me of a 2022 season. Similar things happen, and we would say, asking the question, what's wrong with Golden State Warriors? They've had no atom of being a warrior in this one, but what it is, a game is a game. Cleveland Cavaliers, absolutely fantastic, and last with Darian Garland, they're turning up to the party, definitely. 20 expect him to turn up to the party.
Well, I think it's a case of a most informed side moments in the NBA regular season, because I haven't really seen any other team who's been that consistent. At the start of the brilliance, but at the moment they've been a lot more inconsistent. But Donovan Mitchell and of course the Cleveland Cavaliers and how intentional they've also been in terms of trying to progress better. Well, I think I look at them at their games, their winning mentality. It wasn't the highest, the man with the highest number. It certainly shows you the collective responsibility.
But not much of a difference, 23 points.
Point different. But I'm actually excited about the very fact that other players are beginning to contribute to that extent, try and whenever we don't have Mitchell turn up to the to, of course, give them points at the moment. As you cannot, of course, predict whether they are a team to look forward to. Maybe not beginning to build up blocks of consistency, and possibly they could also be one of.
I'd like to chip from what UT said. He talked about Donovan Mitchell. You know, Donovan Mitchell. That's the problem with the goal. Only had 11 points this particular. Anytime Steph Curry does not turn up to the party, you see the Golden State Warriors. Definitely. So it's beginning to, Steph Curry, the only person who can to move away from that dependency on the man Steph Curry. Definitely get the victory.
Well, the big question, man, superstar be without looking forward to a big superstar also turning up to the party one season, the next season, the show class and dominance and get the victory, especially VP at the finals. But a conversation, guys, the other conversation as we will get 37, 76, 503, and that's not in particular. We've talked about some of these teams. You don't know where they're going to end. Yeah. But the beautiful thing about NBA season is you don't get to be a champion in the regular season. After the playoffs, we get to talk about it. And surely the likes of Cleveland, most likely, not most likely, definitely with the way they play, they'll qualify for the playoffs. It might just be the best team of the regular
season. Ends, because I could also recall excellent at the end of the regular season.
Game knocked out.
So, of course, games are being determined. Looking at, of course, how far both teams can actually go up until game 7. So, most cases, teams are even more regular season. But I look at, of course, the field. If they can actually sustain this momentum, they will still be a force to reckon with. The OKC also trying at the moment the season, and I feel those are the two sides going as far as possible in this NBA season.
And what a season it could be in the world of what regular seasons here at the playoffs and still have some.